Hi, Nengun Racing fans. Well, as promised, here's the highlight or low light reel, if you want to call it that, of the AEC Round 2 at Brianza, or the Monza GP. As you can see, we just had the start of the race, and as usual, I get off to a bad start. Although this time wasn't entirely my fault, as the car in front of me got off quite slow as well. But with this track, everybody bunches up at the first corner anyways, and the gaps all close back up. We have 22 cars registered for the race. Only 21 cars showed up. One car was not there. So I started in 21st position, mostly because I'm the admin of the race, and I like to watch from the back of the pack to make sure everyone's behaving properly. But already by the fourth corner or so, I'm already up to 19th spot due to a couple guys falling off the side of the track. Actually, the guy behind me right now in the SLS Mercedes, he's the guy I end up trying to catch at the end of the race. So soon he actually gets past me quite quickly here. The SLS is pretty darn quick on a straight line. Another guy off to the side, so I'm up to 18th. Still on lap 1. And well, here goes the SLS, and I'm back down to 19th. So over the first half dozen laps or so, I swapped positions back and forth with a couple guys. A couple guys fell off the track again, and I'd make up a spot, but then I'd have to give up the spot again. I'm not sure what everybody's strategy was in the race, but with the GTR being so thirsty for fuel, I was on a completely full tank to start the race, and if a full course yellow or 2 came out, I'd be able to do a 2-stop strategy. If not, I'd have to make it a 3-stop and just stop for one quick 10 lap or 10 liters of fuel. But things didn't happen quite that way, as you'll find out soon. So before the first fuel stop, I had worked my way up to actually 11th position, partially because some of the other guys had to pit earlier. Probably didn't start with a full tank of fuel. But yeah, so I went into the pits on lap 21 in 11th position and came out in 17th position, and slowly worked my way back up to 15th position. So let's just skip ahead a bunch here. Okay, so we're now on lap 27, and probably noticed on the front straight, just after the start-finish line, where you go into that first chicane that I said was a really tricky one, there's a bunch of braking markers. Well, unfortunately this time you can see that some of those markers are gone. Somebody took them out, and I missed my braking spot, and right through the chicane and into the wall. So I picked up a flat front left tire as well as some pretty bad suspension damage due to that. I basically had to limp the car all the way around the track and stop for repairs. You can see it's leaning to one side quite heavily there. Probably the right rear tire is probably off the ground by the looks of it. After that, even after the repairs, they won't repair the suspension 100%. They'll do basically what they can within a certain amount of time, but the car wasn't the same after that, and my lap times proved that. They're probably a good 2 seconds slower for the rest of the race, unfortunately. So right now I'm in 15th position, and after the lengthy pit stop for repairs, I was down to 17th position. So let's just fast forward a bit again. Okay. Well, this was a pretty good battle. Actually, this is a good friend of mine. His name's Paposa. He makes some of the best R Factor YouTube videos on the planet. So we had a good battle going on here. It wasn't actually for position. He had a bit of a rough going at the start of the race, and he was already a couple laps down, but still fun to race for positions. Yeah, you can check out his videos on his YouTube channel. It's Paposa, Papaosa. And yeah, we had a really good battle going, and then a faster car came up behind us, so Paposa let him through there, and then I think he tucks right into his draft right after that, so they can close the gap up to me again. And the whole time I knew they were coming fast, so at the end of the next straight, which is after the next couple of corners here, I just eased up off the accelerator just a bit, just to let the faster guy through. Yeah, coming up at the next corner here. And there he goes. And so I thought I'd tuck right in behind him, and uh-oh, there goes Paps, and just gives me a little tap or two. And there was actually no additional damage done. Car felt the same as it did before. Some cosmetic damage, but nothing serious at all. So he just kept going, and Paps was actually going into the pits on this lap anyway, so he didn't have to bother waiting for me. So I kept going. Damage wasn't bad at all. And then I kept going to our next pit stop on lap 48, where I was up to 16th spot. 16th spot going into the pit stop, and came out in 17th, so I lost a spot there. And let's fast forward again here. End of the race. Okay, so, well, right about here, guy coming up behind me, he's in first place. Also another good friend of mine, Barca 888. Actually, we team up together for some of the driver swap events, and he's always a front runner. So let him go through quite easily, and what's he do at the next corner? He lays down a smoke screen in front of me. Nice guy, eh? So at this point we're in the 17th spot, and that's basically where we finished the race. So the next race coming up will be middle of October next month, and it's at Fuji. So all my Australian friends that we race with are coming to visit Japan. So look for a preview video as well as a highlight video from that race as well. It should be out. The preview video should be out just before the race, and the highlight obviously will be after the race. So, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video.